The Bellator Champion Series is back. The undefeated phenom and lightweight champion Usman Nurmagomedov is back. And more importantly, Bellator is back in San Diego.
Which of course in German means a whale's vagina.
For the first time since his suspension dating back to October 7th of 2023, the Bellator lightweight champion Usman Nurmagomedov will be returning to action, and he will be defending his championship against Alexander Shabliy. Now, we know that in October of 2023, we saw Usman get a very convincing decision over Brent Primus, who is now, funny enough, in the PFL season and in the PFL championship fight coming up in November, a chance to become the PFL champion and win $1 million. Didn't see that coming with how that fight played out in 2023. What a turnaround for the former lightweight Bellator champion, Brent Primus. But this episode isn't about him. This is about Usman Nurmagomedov looking to right the ship, right the wrongs of his positive banned substance test, make sure to let people know that they have not forgotten just how damn good Usman Nurmagomedov is, undefeated for a reason at just 26 years of age, with 14 of his 17 victories by finish. He is an absolute beast, but you probably already knew that because of the last name. And outside of that no contest last October, Usman is 6-0 in the Bellator cage, numerous finishes to his name in numerous big name victories, including Benson Henderson, Patricky Pitbull, and Christopher Gonzalez. Usman Nurmagomedov truly is a Swiss Army knife, a jack of all trades. He is good everywhere that the fight goes. Noah and I were lucky enough in November of 2022 to see him in live action against Patricky Pitbull in Chicago, Illinois, where he put on a clinic for 25 straight minutes. Then he finishes Benson Henderson in March of last year in the very first round. He is absolutely surging, and he's far from entering his true prime that we see a lot of fighters, enter around that 29, 30, 31-year mark into their mid 30s, right? So he's still got a lot of room to grow, and he has a lot of things to prove to the mixed martial arts community. Now, will we ever see him take the next step into the UFC? That is a question still that we may have to ask years down the line. But we could see him turn this title defense, should he beat Shabliy, into maybe a 2025 appearance in the PFL championship tournament. Could it be a champion versus champion where we get Usman fighting the winner of the 2024 PFL season? I think big things can be on the horizon, but first and foremost, he has to put to bed that suspension, get back on top, get momentum back on his side. And this is no easy task, because to do so, he will have to take down Alexander Shabliy, who has not lost in a very long time. As a matter of fact, Alexander Shabliy has not lost since November of 2016, pushing 8 years since the last time that he tasted defeat, with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fight win streak, 5 of them in the Bellator cage. He is a very, very elite level fighter, much like Usman, a jack of all trades, very well-rounded. 2 finishes of those 5 in Bellator over former champion Brent Primus and over Tofik Musayev, which was a very, very shocking finish at that time. And he's coming off a victory over Patricky Pitbull last November, so Shabliy is on a tear in his own right. These two are absolutely just surging toward one another. They've avoided each other, not on purpose, of course, but just their paths have not crossed over these last 3 years. But now they have no other choice but to step in the cage with one another. Shabliy, 31 years old, the elder by 5 years over Usman. He has 27 pro fights to his name, 9 more than what Usman does. But again, has not lost in 8 years, has finished 19 of his 24 victories. So we talked about Usman, right? Getting that momentum back, putting to bed that narrative of being a cheater, and put just that gray area of the career, right? With that no contest, with the banned substance test. Now he can right the wrongs. He can get back on track and prove that he is amongst the elite in not only Bellator, but one of the best lightweights in the entire world. But for Shabliy, he has the opportunity to become Bellator lightweight champion, to hand Usman Nurmagomedov the very first loss of his career, and do so by being a massive, massive underdog. And to coincide with this high-level main event in the lightweight division, we have Lorenz Larkin back in action. We have Douglas Lima versus Aaron Jeffery, and we have Sumiko Inaba versus Mackenzie Steeler. Also, not to mention, Yancy Medeiros, UFC veteran, is also on this card. So there are some very, very fun matchups to be had. I can't really list rankings anymore because Bellator doesn't have those, but most of those people that I just listed outside of Yancy were ranked at the time of Bellator merging with the PFL. Keep in mind those names because they could play a factor in the 2025 PFL season, be a part of the next PFL versus Bellator card, etc. So give me your thoughts on Bellator San Diego in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win? Who will leave California as the lightweight champion of the world? Will it be Usman Nurmagomedov and still undefeated and still the champion and still one of the best lightweights on planet Earth? Or will Alexander Shabliy shock the world, hand Usman his first loss, and become champion all at the same time? Give me your predictions for that main event and the rest of the card in the comments below, alongside with your bets, your hot takes, anything in between that you're feeling. Feel free to let me know. If you are new here, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, you can join the community on social media at Verbal Spar MMA on X, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can follow along on your favorite audio listening platform. If you like podcast episodes, they release every Friday and Monday on Spotify, Apple, and more. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the fights, and I will see you in the next video.
Discovered by the Germans in 1904, they named it San Diego.